start the game.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to my review of No More Heroes 3. Let's go ahead and let's get into it. Alright, let's talk about No More Heroes and the story up till now. No More Heroes 1, the protagonist, Travis Touchdown. He's really just trying to be the #1 assassin just to impress this really pretty girl named Sylvia Christel. No More Heroes 2, he's just trying to find, the fight. He's just wanting to get excitement out of the fight. Then No More Heroes, Travis Strikes Again. With that one, that was with Bat Guy, taking him into the Death console game, and from there going on an adventure over there. Then we're to No More Heroes 3, where now an alien invasion has come, and apparently enough, there is 10 aliens, and they create this whole ranking system. Just like every other No More Heroes game, there's always the ranking system, and Travis, he actually matured as the games went on. He married Sylvia. He had kids with her, and he's still arrogant. Don't get me wrong, but he has matured since the first game, to where he was just doing it for fun, just to get with Sylvia. He really is trying to save the world, and that's pretty much the plot for this game. Alright, just like every other review I've been doing, we're going to talk about the graphics first. So, I'm not going to lie, this game be looking rough. Alright, like, damn, this game is just, there's a lot of texture pop-ins, there's anti-aliasing is pretty garbage in this game. The environments they just look bad. There is one thing that I do have to give him credit for. It's the fact that during the fights, they're always capped at 60 frames per second, which is I am very, very thankful for. Because if this game was, dropping frames like 24 frames per second during the fights, like it is in the open world parts, I would be severely disappointed in this game. Because like it's already rough as it is. Going through the open world. Driving, walking around, and all that stuff. It's rough. It's rough looking at like this bland place. Also, the fact that like there's barely any NPCs in the open world. It's like this world isn't lived in. And if I can be totally 100% honest, I honestly think that No More Heroes 1 and No More Heroes 2 looks way better than No More Heroes 3. And that's what's really crazy. I get it that this game is exclusive to Nintendo Switch, but I think that's what's really holding back this game a lot. If this game was, able to be, if one day it's able to be ported over to like the PlayStation, the Xbox, and of course PC, and they give like a visual uplift, actually adding in that anti-aliasing, putting more NPCs into the open world, increasing polygon counts, making it 60 frames per second, not only in the fighting but in the open world as well. This game would probably be like really amazing. But other than that, like if we're talking like style wise, I do like the character designs. I like the enemy designs. I do like the levels. But it's just, it's so rough. It is just so rough. It's muddy, and oh man, I really wish, if there ever is like a Switch Pro coming out, I hope that they remaster this game to be fully 60 frames per second, increase poly count, better anti-aliasing and all that stuff. But man, this game is looking rough. But did it hurt the enjoyment of the game? No, I don't think so. I don't think it did, because I still enjoyed the story. I still enjoyed the gameplay, which I'm going to be going into. But that's it for the graphics part. All right, let's get into the gameplay for this game. So right off the bat, it is very familiar to No More Heroes 1 and No More Heroes 2. You still have your beam katana, that you have to charge every once in a while because it runs out of battery every time you swing it. You still have your wrestling moves that are always so fun to do. It's just so fun to just suplex somebody and you feel the weight of them getting crushed. Let me tell you stuff that I don't like about the gameplay. So in No More Heroes 1, right, there were actually levels to the game, right? You know, when you go up and face against an assassin, right, you actually go through a level before you actually fight the boss. In No More Heroes 3, right, you go to these different islands, and in these different islands, they have what's called preliminary fights. And from there, you just go, like, you get transported to, like, a place, and you fight these enemies, and you get the preliminary fights done. And after that, you go and fight the boss. Now, some bosses do have, like, levels, but I wouldn't really call them levels because you don't really fight enemies in there. You're kind of just, like, traversing the place just to get to the final boss. And to me, like, that's a pretty big letdown, you know, because it's kind of the same every time you do a ranked fight. Every time you beat the last boss, you just go to the next island, do the preliminary fights, and then boom, you go to the boss, right? That's not really fun to me because I really love No More Heroes 1 and No More Heroes 2 because you get to go to these levels, fight those normal enemies, and you get, like, this cool fighting soundtrack every time you do it. Don't get me wrong now, there is fighting tracks when you do these preliminary fights, and yes, they do get the heart pumping, the heart racing, but it's not the same, you know, it's not the same. I do like the fact that they let, you know, the open world be open world again, unlike in No More Heroes 2, where No More Heroes 2, it was basically just like a map and you just teleport to wherever you wanted to go, you know? I like the fact that you're able to do the side missions again. You know, you got your grass mowing, you have, like, this high-speed chase game, you have your trash pickup games. My favorite one is the one where you're the Coast Guard and you have to fight giant alligators and shoot missiles at them. That is my favorite one. That one's so fun. But just because the fact that they kept that part, like in No More Heroes 1, but they took out the level part, that hurts the game again for me, you know? I love those levels, you know? I really love going through these weird places and all that stuff. You still get your iconic phone calls from Sylvia where she tells you to go into the Garden of Madness, you know? And I love that. I love that callback. But other than that, if we talk about the boss fights, god damn, these boss fights, you know, subvert my expectation, you know, because when I go into a boss fight, what I expected is, you know, like, all right, cool, I'm just gonna go fight this guy, all right? That's what I expect every time I go into these ranked fights, but they always subvert it because sometimes they give you a cop-out, right? They give you a cop-out for the boss fight, and they give you a different person for that fight, or it's something completely different. Or sometimes the boss fights aren't really boss fights. They're like these mini games, and like, or they take from different games. You know, that's another thing. This game is filled with so much pop culture reference. You know, like if you're like a 2000s, or I'm sorry, a 1990s babies, you will get a lot of these references, you know? I can tell you there was a reference for Terminator, a reference to Final Fantasy, Smash Bros. Just so much pop culture reference, and I loved it. I chuckled every time there was, like, a reference thrown in there, you know? That's what this game does great. It subverts your expectation. It doesn't make you think like the boss fight is gonna be the same every time. It's always different, and I love the boss fights. They're always so creative. One more thing, just Travis's fourth wall breaking, you know? Like, he talks to you, he talks about how, like, the gamers would hate this aspect of the game. Like, this is the strong point of No More Heroes 3. And gosh damn, I don't know what it is about these creators of these crazy games. You know, Suda51, absolute madmen, just like Yoko Taro of the Nier video game. These guys are absolute madmen in where they subvert your expectations. And this is, again, a strong point of the game. Gameplay, you know, apart from just doing the preliminary fights, the boss fights is where this game is at. And it is amazing. Alright, finally, let's talk about the audio of No More Heroes 3. So, if we're talking walking, fighting, just like the normal sounds in the game, pretty solid, alright? Every time Travis walks, you hear his footsteps, it switches every time he goes to different types like road or sand or a sidewalk or grass. It's different. It changes up. So that part is good. When you fight an enemy, it feels good. You know, you feel the weight of it. Like, it's just so satisfying to hit a person, and then you do that like final beam katana move on them, and it just sounds so fucking powerful. Ah, damn, I sweared. But that's how powerful it feels when you swing on an opponent and it has that sound to it. Oh, let's go! Suplex! Dead. Now, if we talk about like the score, the music to this game, man, oh man, does this game get you pumped every time. Let me tell you something. The hardest song that goes on in this game is when you sit down on the Don Machi sushi stand and that rap song goes on. I've never been more hyped to buy sushi in my life.
Could everybody in the world eat when he's trying to meet me? Come on, everybody's like sushi.
That is another strong point in this game. They get the music right. You know, each island has their own music. You know, Santa Destroy has this song called Destroy, and it goes hard just going over there. Call of Battle has its own song. You know, just it's really good. It keeps you hyped up all the time, especially during the fights. God damn, does your heart get pumping when you fight? Like every time, not even like even regular fights. These things are so intense, man, and it just keeps you focused the entire time. And it just like every time you fight the opponent, you're like, oh damn, yeah. It gets you into it, and that is like one of the best things about this game. You know, oh man, boss fights, the audio that goes with it, solid, very, very, very solid. Okay. One last thing about the audio is the voice acting. The voice acting, it was really good. You know, is it gonna win any awards? Absolutely not. But I thought that the voice acting was very hilarious. I love how Travis talks with the player, the player. I love how he talks to all the other characters. I love how he talks to the enemies. It's always funny, and I just love how they kept the same voice actors. With Sylvia, I don't know what it is with her. You know, like she just has that. I don't know. I hate to say it, but you know, fresh off the boat accent. It's always been funny, but voice acting, I say, very top notch.
Hyper-modern artwork. I project images relevant to one another onto physical matter, making it seem as though there's a beautiful space existing right there. It's cutting-edge magic.
So projection mapping, right? I'm already sick of seeing that shit. With this sort of thing, from like the second time you see it, your brain already understands what's going on. You can't not see it as fake.
Oh, snap. Snap, crackle, and bippity pop.
All right, let's go into the final verdict of No More Heroes 3. No More Heroes 3 has great fights, great boss fights, great audio that gets you pumped, really funny banter between the characters. But the only thing it's lacking is in its graphics and the lack of levels. If this game had, you know, better graphics, if it had levels again, like in No More Heroes 1 and No More Heroes 2, I would absolutely give this game a 5 out of 5. And I know I give 5 out of 5s like it's candy. And this is one of my favorite franchises, and I really wanted to give this game a 5 out of 5, but I just couldn't because of those two things. So I give No More Heroes 3 a 4 out of 5. Now, I still recommend that everyone that is a fan of the No More Heroes franchise go and pick this game up. You will not regret it. You're gonna love this game. You know, you're just gonna notice what I said in my review. But I hope in the future, when No More Heroes 4 comes out, hopefully that doesn't take 10 years, they fix upon their discrepancies, and I can give it a 5 out of 5. So again, thank you for watching my review. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it was very informative, and I hope you go out and purchase No More Heroes 3. I'll see you guys in my next video. See ya.
No more than 10 hours of gaming per day. How dare you?
With